everybody. We're so glad you could be with us again today. I have something I think you're going to really like. That's a little bit of a departure from what we were doing for a while. As you know, I'm an assemblage artist. That's like where I start everything. And also, I love vintage jewelry. So we had a challenge at the Visa Boutiques Creative Group on Facebook. And we had quite a few people that jumped in. They gave their idea of what a good mixed media piece would be, that they could make. And so we had some nice stuff show up. And I didn't get my stuff done till just like a few minutes ago. So I figure since I don't qualify for the drawing, what does it matter, right? But I'm going to show you my piece because there are a few particular little things about it that you might like to know. I use a lot of hollow pieces to attach to a base. And I don't think that's ever anything that we've covered. There are different ways to do it. But I use these little shells here, turbine shells they call them. But they're quite hollow, as you can see. So you might think, well, that'd be kind of hollow, difficult to attach to a brass base. But I've got a way. So I'm going to show you how that you can make something really pretty. So come on over here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay guys, so here is my completed piece for the challenge. I still have some cleanup. I haven't signed it yet and all that stuff, but I'm kind of happy how it came out. And you might say, oh, that looks kind of hard. It's really not. It's just getting these big turbine shells on there right, because they want to slide around. And look, they're really hollow inside. So what are you going to do about that? Well, there are several ways to solve that problem. Some folks say fill it with epoxy sculpt and then, to the top and then flatten it off and, then you could put it on, you'll have a flat surface. You could do that, except that will make it heavy because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shells or something like that in there. And then there's parts of them. So if I did that on each one, this would be uncomfortable for me to wear. And I'll just tell you right now, I'm keeping this. Some people have already expressed interest. I'll make some more. I'm not going to do this whole necklace in this video because if I did, it'd be like a 3-hour class because it's a lot to it. But I'll tell you the basics. And plus, if you've been following me for a while, you know about assemblage. We use a lot of E6000 and how to position things, how to get flow. The way the turbine shells are going, you have flow going around this way. But what I did is I used this piece here from the site, which is our necklace crescent. We have 2 of them. There's one on a smaller size and one this one. I think this one's like 4.5 across. And then this one looks like on the back. But it's really difficult to work on in this state because it's curved. So what you have to do, I'm going to move this guy for a little bit. What you have to do, first of all, is you have to flatten this. See, now I made a mark. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Okay, so you can see the brass, even though this is heavier gauge brass, I'd say this is probably 20 or 19 gauge at least. You can do it pretty good. You just flatten it as much as you want to. And then when you get the piece done, you'll want to adjust it because you're not going to want it flat hanging on you because then it's going to look, I don't know, like something belongs there and there's nothing there on the ends. You'll see in a minute what I'm telling you. Okay, so you got to get this nice and flat. Yeah, this will work to get your shells on. I'm using turbine shells that I've had for a while. You can get them in a craft store. I know where to get them. I used to have shells a lot of the time. We still have a few little ones. Always look for the itty bitty ones because they're good for making jewelry. But in this case, I wanted to make a statement piece, so I needed bigger ones. So I'm going to see if I can pull out of my little pile here ones that would be suitable to do another one and set it up. So anyway, this one looks like it's about the biggest. So whatever's the biggest, you're going to want it in the middle. In fact, I might even want one that's bigger than that. Let's try this. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's good. All right, so then we have to go out the side. So we just start, and I would say on shells or something that's very dimensional, that's bigger, start in the middle. So I'm just showing you the layout now. We're not gluing it yet. I would suggest that you do that too in a piece like this. Lay it out first so you're sure where it's going. So then I'm going to put this one next to it. And I'm going to put this one next to that. Don't worry that you got some space in there. You'll fill it. And I'll show you by using this for an example. So then I'm going to go this way with this. Now the only thing I notice is like when I got to this part here, I got it going up too high, so it kind of made a high place in the assemblage, and you want to have it balanced. So for this one, I might have to allow a little bit more space to get it to come down to look right. And then I need two small ones for the ends, and I hope I have small enough. We'll just try and make it work for now. That and this. Okay. This one is, it's not good. It's not going the right way. I don't like it. I don't have to tell you except I don't like it, right? I have to give you a reason for everything. The big reason for that is I don't like it. And that's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to put it like this. Okay. So when I glue those on, you can see that's going to be, I mean, I know it's coming out upside down for them, but you can see, I'll put my other one in front. Oops. Well, I didn't get that jump checked. Anyway, you can see how it's going to go around like this. Yep, see, I didn't have time to take a picture of this, so I had a bad jump, and that's why it came apart. But that's okay, because we don't care about that right now. All right, so how am I going to get these shells on here without, having gaps and messes and all that? Well, I will tell you, when I made mine, I did have a lot of mess, and there was a lot of cleanup. As you can see, it's fairly clean now. I still have a little bit of cleanup on that, and I have to sign it, but not a lot. I got most of it off. And yeah, there is stuff trailing around the backs, and that's okay in this case because you need it for the front of the piece because of the dimension of the front of the piece. So you can see that you need to have a little bit, but it's still flat, so it's not going to bother the wearer. And that's the main thing. You don't want something that's going to fuss the wearer. See, I see a little bit more glue there. I got to get off. But anyway, it's not too bad. So, okay, so one thing, like I said before, was suggested put epoxy sculpt in it. But I feel because there's so much here, it's going to make it heavy. And these necklaces, these statement necklaces on the crescent, are hard enough for some people to wear. They love to wear them because they're beautiful. But you got to watch your weight, what you put on there. You get it too loaded up, and now you got trouble. So you got to stay with lightweight stuff. So another thing that was suggested to me is that we take a little bit of tissue paper and stick in the backs. And I kind of like that idea. At first I thought, well, if we do that, then we're gluing paper to brass, which is not very strong. You need to usually bond like a hard thing to a hard thing, to keep it. I think I've got a way. At least it'll fill at least part of it. And that might help us out some. So let's just try it. I'm going to try it. And thank you, Chris, if you're watching this, for the idea, because I think it's a pretty good one. Okay, so you just take them and you just fill them a little bit. Like that. I'll just do a few because we're not going to glue this whole thing. I'm just going to give you an idea of how it's going to go, because to be honest with you, it takes a while. You got to fuss with it. Some assemblage goes together quickly. This is not one of those pieces. In fact, I'll tell you what, I was inspired to make mine. You know how I love to make, I won't make it, but I love Miriam Haskell jewelry of the old times. And in the late 30s and up till mid 40s, maybe late 40s, they made a lot of jewelry from organic materials because there was a war going on, you might remember in history, and they had to be careful how much stuff they used. Stuff like brass was rationed. And so they did a lot of stuff with seashells like this. This kind of has that feeling. So that's where my inspiration for this came. See, you want to be careful you don't have any sticking out at the sides, because then you could always trim it, but anyway. So I'm going to stop with this one. We'll do 3 today, okay? There's a bad kitty out here. I hear her. She's trying to get attention. She can't stand it. She's not getting attention. You're a bad girl, Millie. I should have put you downstairs. Uh-oh.
She dropped your jumping. Alright, push it out.
Oh, my jumpy tool. Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't usually care anything about that. It's because I'm on here doing this.
It's because I'm giving you the attention.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because she always wants Javi to pay attention to her. Okay, so they're going to go like this, like I showed you. I'm going to glue these on. So, Chris, I'm trying your ideas. We're all trying together. You can always do them hollow, but you have to use a ton of glue. I'll just be honest with you. And yes, it will leak around the back. And to be honest with you, I should have this on a piece of plastic.
Yeah. There's a plastic piece right there. Yeah.
This is just to scoop this stuff out. Should have it on a piece of plastic because this is like a paper top.
You couldn't go glue around the edges and
yep,
put it in?
That's what I do. But you got to get some in the middle too, and that's kinds. You have to use a lot. And this is a heavy glue, so it'll come smushing out for you. That's the way it is. Okay, so I'm going to put this on plastic. I should have thought that first. Because when I did it in my room, I was watching TV last night when I did this. And I was using a tray and I had plastic on it. So got to use it here. So we're going to glue some down. Now I think I got to look again to see how I started this. Where they're positioned. They go like this.
I think this was the centerpiece.
This was the center.
Yeah, because that's huge. That was a big piece.
So maybe I'll put some in that just in case we get a chance to do it. And you don't have to have it, oh, you just take scrap pieces. No, Kitty, I'm not going to pet you now. She's just getting so insistent. You're going to pet me now. And she bites.
Yeah, bad kitty.
Bad kitty. Okay, so she's getting older, and that's what John says. She's getting older and needy. I said, what? Kind of like me?
That's rude.
Okay, so there's that. I'm going to start from here and go over. Now, I did tell you could start from here and go over. Now, let's see where it is. Maybe I should do that, since that's what I told you. But either way works. Whatever you feel is going to be good for you. I'm going to do the central first. Okay, so let's see how this goes. So now we have to take this. We're still going to be using a good bit of, E6000. We're going to take this, and we're not just going to get it on the paper, because then you just got paper bonded to brass, and that does not provide a really secure bond. But, it just helps to fill in to get enough glue on it so that it's going to work. So you can see how I have it. Actually, you could put a little more than that, to be honest with you, but I'm just going to stop at this, because I can always pull it off later. So it has to go right in the middle. And then because I can pick this up a little bit, yeah, it's covered all in the back. You can't see any tissue paper or nothing. So that's what you want. Now, I don't think I have enough on there. Just a little bit more in there. Now we're going to have a mess. You wait and see. The good thing about E6000, see, look at that. You can pick it off pretty easy. You guys probably know that. Now, of course, I don't have my toothpicks out here for some dumb reason. I should. They're not back there. Well, I thought I had them. Just a minute, guys. Gotta find the toothpicks. I would not get an A+ for doing this. Well, listen, okay, I got this. This was something I made like this for some other reason. No, they're not chopsticks. So I'm just going to trim it off with this. Take it off with that. And don't worry about that little bit of glue that got down there at the bottom, because you're going to cover it anyway, so nobody's going to see that. It's just, if it's leaking out up here, and there is a little bit, but that's going to be easy to clean, or at the bottom, you're going to get that straightened out. Okay, so I think, yeah, that'd be about right. So now I'm going to do the next one. And so far I'm liking the idea. Now the proof in the pudding will be is after I do this and I let it set up for a while. Then we'll see how strong it is. But I'm getting a feeling like this is probably going to work pretty good. because I was doing it just around the edges and just filling with a lot of glue at the bottom, and you know, that's fine, but you're still only gluing to a certain amount.
Here's that new glue if you want it.
Oh, yeah, thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Pick this one up instead. Oh, here they are. Sitting right out. Don't get old. That's what happens to you. Okay. Actually, it's a privilege denied to many, so it's a blessing to grow old. It just may not feel like it at first. Okay, so I got a good bit on there. I'll take a piece of this. This will be better. I had those from when I made paper flowers, I think. I was using them for this something, I don't know. Anyway, so I got a good bit on that. You know, I still could use some more. This is what you want to avoid, because this is what makes the big mess. You still need to get a good bit of glue on there. So if you're making a piece like this, odds are great that you're going to use the better part of a thing of E6000. Now I've got a big glop here, and that's going to be some cleanup. I always try to make my assemblage pieces so I'll have as little as possible, but this one's hard to do that way. I don't care. I'm not worried about it because I can pick this off. You should have seen how this looked when I was done. But, you know, if you can do it without all that, that's even better. Okay, so now I got one going. I try to keep it off the front, but I can get that off too, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, we're going to do the next one. Oops. I just said I don't want to get glue on here. All right, so I'm going to try and get more toward the back because I think that's where I didn't have enough was there. So you can see how I just kind of swirled it around in there. Okay, so now I'm going to place that in position. And yeah, a little bit oozed out the side. Don't worry, most of it's on the front, so that's okay. Sometimes a little bit of E6000 mess on the front, so long as it's going to be under something, provides a little bit more of a base for you and a little bit more gluing because it'll hold a little bit better. So it's not always a bad thing. So I've got that. And then I need one more, so I'm going to have to put it this way. Now, I got one problem here. I got to make sure my hole's showing, and it is. But when I put this on, I'm going to have to be really, really careful. Because you got to have that hole. You're not going to attach it to anything, right?
That's true.
Trying not to get this. Yeah, I got just enough space there. Now, it's kind of sticking up a little bit on this one side. That's okay. It will just give it a little bit more dimension. And it's okay. So long as it's glued down, you're good. So I've got just enough little space here. So what do I do to cover that up? Well, I could take a little bit of paint. Once this is all dry, I could take a little paint and go there. Or some tiny pearls and make like a pave. Or some flat backs or whatever. I usually take tiny pearls. I think that's what I did on this one. But so then you can see I've pretty much got the first half done. So I just have to do the other half.
You can do it!
To fill the shells. Well, I did it at first, so I'm going to have to figure out how I did it. Or maybe I use a different shell. Because I got to have, let's see, 3 on. Okay, 3 is all I need. I'm sorry. I'm good.
You got that right.
Yeah, I did. So, yeah, I'm going to glue them down like that and then get something in there. Don't worry about that stuff that's showing the base here because you're going to fill it, okay? So I will just show you a couple little things and then you can try it yourself. Now, I do not have the shell at the website. They're not really, I wouldn't say they're a rare shell, but they're a little bit harder to find in the size I need to do this. And sometimes it's hard to find shells that are the right size to use in jewelry making. They tend to be too big. So, but I think I know where I might get some, so I'm going to get some. But in the meantime, you can see what else did I use. Well, let's see, let's get this off of here. I don't want that under this.
We can always move this for now.
Okay,
Show them.
move it. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I did here, you can see, there's not much showing. I would prefer maybe to put a few more, I might not quite be done with this, a few more of those little tiny things in here so I don't see into the, it doesn't matter though, it's fine. And the same thing with the back, it's all covered. I got most of the glue mess out, there's a little bit more yet to deal with there, but I think we're pretty good. But what I did is I put these little tiny sparkly beads on 20 gauge wire. And I rolled it at one end, and then when I got it done, I rolled it at the other. And I think I used about 2.5 inches, maybe 3, all told, because you have to account for where you're going to roll the wire. And then I just put them on this end with the one end rolled, and then the other end, rolled the other one, and then pushed it up, and then glued it in between so that the beads would not come off of it. And that's what I did on all this. So I did one here. I did one here, one here, one here, okay? And then what I did is I just filled in. You know, I always tell you the little things come last. So I have these little beads, these little flowers with mine. Since we had them on our Etsy and we had them in the shop too, the website, and hopefully they're going to hold up. Then I'm going to keep being able to get them because the supplier's out now, wouldn't you know it. Then these little brass flowers, we have gobs of them. I think last time I looked, we had like 90, so there's lots of them. And you just bend those to fit. And these are no-hole pearls. We have lots of no-hole pearls. In fact, what I used was this. So you get like a little kit where they're all kind of sizes. This is great for assemblage. No holes in these, so you're not going to string these. The ones I have right now, they're made like cotton pearls, which is even better. They have a little bit of dimpling to them. Makes them really look like the old vintage a lot, you know. So I really like those, but these are the smooth ones. So, you know, basically I just, you know, you do it by eye when it looks right. So you might think you're done, and so you stop. And you come back the next day and look at it, and you'll say, you know, maybe I need to take this off, maybe I put this on, whatever, fiddle with a little more. Like, I was really kind of sad that I didn't get this even here. It's fine. You know, most people would say they didn't even notice it till I told them, but, and I'll wear this, but it'd be better to do it the way I have it now, and we'll just look at that again. It's not all glued down. But you can see how this is going. So, back.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll have to pull these down a little bit when I put them on. Because this one tends to want to get twisted up, and it goes high, and then it throws the line off. So you always want to try and keep your line, so you might have to adjust that a little bit, but pretty much this is going to be a good piece when I'm done. And when you get this part done, you've got your framework done, you're on your way. The rest of it is just fussing with it basically. Which, like I say, it's like working a little puzzle, but it's not hard. And none of these parts are expensive either. Isn't that nice? These pearls are the pearls that you buy when you get those Japanese Cultura pearls from me at the website in the bead mix. It's this stuff. Okay, those are cool because they're vintage. They come from Japan. They were made a long time ago, and Cultura is just, they put this stuff that's made out of fish scales over the top to make the lustrousness of it. I can't say it, but the base in this case is plastic, or composition plastic. They have them that are glass too. Same thing, look the same, has the same top on it, the stuff made out of the fish scales, but they're glass. Now me, given the price differential, I'll use this plastic every day because it makes your piece lighter, easier to wear. It's cheaper for you to work with. You know, I mean, these big pearls like this, if that was a glass pearl, this is big money right there, you know.
And it would be really heavy too.
Yeah. So anyway, so now I got plastic. So we have them on the site. We just restocked them. So, and you're going to like the price. They're really, really low price. So head on over to bsuboutiques.com. And for your supplies, we have little brass pieces. We have rhinestone cup chain too. If you don't have these beads, don't worry about it. Rhinestone cup chain works fine. We have it in a whole bunch of colors right now. So all kinds of, you may have shells you can use. Experiment with them. Nothing wrong with that. You know, get your own mixed media organic look going. I could have went really funky and boho with this. Maybe I will in a couple of weeks and I'll show you. But yeah. Just have some fun with it. And why don't you join us at the Bisu Boutiques Creative Group at Facebook? Because that's where we showcase the things we've done with products from our website or from our Etsy and show what you can do with them. And a lot of the girls have been there for a while, so they kind of have a good stash. But even if you don't, just come in and join in with us, you know, watch. And you're going to learn a lot. You could learn a lot about a piece like this at that group too, you know. So come and join us at Facebook, Bisu Boutiques Creative Group. And don't forget my website, bisuboutiques.com. I also have an Etsy, Bisu Boutiques Supplies. And oh, by the way, if you've not subscribed to our channel yet, you might want to do that, so you don't miss out on any of our videos. This one will be 618. How about that? I've been making them for 15 years now. And I don't take very many of them down because there's good content. So go on back through them and see what you can find. There's a lot of great stuff. So you can go and you can subscribe. Also, you can leave me a like. And you can leave me a comment underneath the description of this video, where the video is, and then there's a description underneath that. Leave me a comment. Please do that, because YouTube watches that, and if they see there's a lot of commentary on a video, they will show it more often. And this is not something that I can do for myself. I need the people who watch me to take just a moment of time. I don't care if you just put hi, they'll count it. You know, you can ask questions there. You can make comments, whatever. We do answer. I check it and Javi checks it. So if you put something on there, it's not likely that you're going to be missed. And we can help you out. Also, if you need us, you can call us at 1-800-868-4393, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And somebody should pick up, me or Jordan or one of us, and we'll help you out. Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the little dissertation there, and I hope you'll make one of these, because isn't that pretty? Isn't she lovely? Oh yeah, she's lovely. I just got to fix that jump ring. All right, you guys, take off and go have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next week.